Don't do what Derek did. Derek did everything right. He studied trusts. He read the books, watched the videos, sat in the forums at midnight asking the right questions. He understood what a revocable trust was. He understood what an irrevocable trust was. He understood pour-over wills and successor trustees and Schedule A asset lists. He built his own trust, himself, without an attorney, and it was correct. The trust itself was legally binding. What he didn't know was that signing it carries a capacity, a specific way your name has to appear on the page. Let me explain. There was one line, one signature block, on the page establishing his authority as trustee of the trust structure he built. He signed his name, not his name as trustee, but his personal name, Derek Johnson. Not Derek Johnson, trustee of the Derek Johnson Family Trust. That was the mistake. Derek didn't know. Nobody told him. The notary didn't catch it neither. The document looked complete. It felt done. He put it in a binder, put the binder on a shelf, and went back to his life feeling like he had finally did the damn thing. He did. Almost. Here's the scene. Derek walks in. Six months later, after receiving his EIN letter, Derek walked into a bank. He had an appointment. He had his documents in a folder, the trust agreement, the EIN letter, the certificate of trust. He sat down across from a relationship banker, placed the folder on the desk between them, and said he was there to open a trust account. The banker opened the folder, reviewed the certificate, reviewed the trust agreement, turned to the signature page, looked up. "Sir, it says you signed here as Derek Johnson." Derek nodded. "Right, that's me." "Sir, we need the trustee's signature to show your capacity to act for the trust. This is signed personally." Derek looked at the page befuddled. He had signed his name exactly the way he signed every document his entire life. The way he signed his mortgage, the way he signed his car note. First name, last name. But this was not his mortgage, nor his car note. A trust instrument requires the trustee to sign in their capacity as trustee, not as a person, as a function, as a role with legal standing. Derek Johnson is different from Derek Johnson, trustee of the Derek Johnson Family Trust. One is a person, the other is the trustee acting for the trust. His name on the page didn't show the capacity, and the banker needed the capacity on the page before opening anything. The banker closed the folder and slid it back across the desk. "My apologies, but without the proper signature, I can't open this account today." This is the pattern. It happens more than you think. Derek isn't the only one. Every week, people finish structuring their own trusts, close the document, feel the relief of having done the work, and miss something in the mechanics. Not the concept, not the strategy, the mechanics. The trustee's signature block is one of the most common places it happens, and it is one of the most consequential. Because a trust with an unclear trustee's signature isn't automatically a failed trust. The structure is real, the intent is real, the assets you mean to put in it are real, but your documented authority to act under it isn't always on paper. And when you go to use the trust, to open the account, transfer the property, or direct the distribution, the institution on the other side of the table is going to ask for something you cannot hand them. The trust says you are trustee. Your signature leaves that word out. That is the mistake. This is the gap. Not many teach this part. See, look, here's why this happens. When most people learn about trust, they learn about the concepts: revocable versus irrevocable, funding, successor trustees, beneficiary designations, the architecture. What they don't learn, because it lives in the mechanics and not the concepts, is the precise way a legal instrument requires its parties to sign. When you sign a trust instrument as trustee, you aren't signing as yourself. You are signing in a legal capacity. Your personal name alone doesn't carry this capacity. Your name and your title do. Not many teach this part. You learn how to build the trust, but you don't learn how to sign as trustee. This is what it cost Derek. Derek left the bank without an account. He had to contact an attorney. The attorney reviewed the signature block, confirmed the issue, and prepared corrective paperwork to clarify the trustee's signature and ratify the authority. It cost him money. It cost him weeks. It cost him a little of the confidence he had built doing this himself. And it was entirely preventable. Written correctly the first time, it cost nothing. The trust didn't fail because Derek was uninformed. Derek was informed. The trust had a mechanics problem that was easily corrected, but at a price. This is a harder reality to accept, because the people who go deep enough to build their own trust are exactly the people who believe they would have caught something like this. Derek believed the same thing, right up until the banker slid the folder back. This is the audit. 5 places, 1 scorecard. This is one of 5 places the trust integrity audit checks. Formation, funding, your family, the trustee chain, the successor, the protector. Your assets, what you believe is in the trust versus what is titled correctly. And your records, the paper trail proving all of it holds up. Formation is where Derek's mistake was. Not to tell you what you did wrong, to flag what needs a second look before a bank, a court, or a beneficiary finds it under pressure. The audit is an educational tool, not legal advice. If the audit surfaces a defect, what it does is find the problem before you're standing at a counter with a folder in your hand and a deadline behind you. Run the audit once a year, January 15th, before anything breaks. This is the turn. Derek's making this right. Derek got it corrected. He went back to the bank. He opened the account. The account opened. The authority was clear. The signature block finally read the way it was supposed to read from the beginning. But here's the thing about Derek's story. He is smarter than most people who attempt this. He did more research than most. He built a cleaner document than most. And he still missed it. Not because he was careless, because nobody told him. You know now. Your name is not enough. Your capacity has to be on the page. Every document establishing your authority as trustee, your name, your role, your trust. This is the mechanic. Lock it in.
All right, let's talk.
They won't watch you.
Derek did the work. He researched how to properly assemble a trust. He studied the laws to protect himself and his family. He learned how to structure the articles, name the trust, and put the pieces together. But he missed one thing. He didn't learn how to sign as trustee instead of himself. When you're acting for the trust, don't just sign your name, sign as trustee. You can do it on one line, Derek Johnson, trustee of the Derek Johnson Family Trust. Or you can stack it, Derek Johnson, trustee of the Derek Johnson Family Trust. Either way, your name, your title, and the trust name need to be clear. If you leave that title off, the bank may read it like it's personal, not trust property, personal property. That's the mistake. That's what the Trust Integrity Audit does for you. Your signatures, titles, accounts, funding, trustee authority, records, and successor plan. It shows you where you're clean, where you're exposed, and what to fix first. It's in the description, $19. And if you want the full system, the Protocol Command Kit is there too. All 7 guides and audits, $97. Start with the audit. If this helped you, like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next one.
Chegou, a gente só for, vamos, valeu,